Jeffrey Tollison. Since was your 39th birthday, I wanted to make you a birthday video to tell you about some of the things I discovered about 39 so you can see that life's not over yet. There's a lot to be excited about, especially for being 39. I'm going to try to take this in some different categories. We're going to do some mathematical 39 things. Then we'll do a little science, religion. I think there's some miscellaneous, and then history and some popular culture. So let's get right to it. Let's talk about 39 as a number. 39 is, if you do the prime factorization, is 3 times 13. That's a pretty interesting number. If you decide to count up some primes in a row, you can get the sum of consecutive primes 3, 5, 7, 11, and 13 equals 39, which is cool because 3 and 13 are at the beginning and the end of that sequence. Also, if we're going to write 39 in binary, there it is, 1, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1. That would be 32 and 4 and 2 and 1. Now, if you think 39 is a big number, let me show you a big number. If we take 10 to the 39th power, that is 1 duodecillion. That is a big number. I have here as well an interesting thing about 39. It is, if we take powers of 3, 3 cubed plus 3 squared plus 3 to the 1, that equals 39. There are not very many numbers that you can do that with. There's a 39-ish as well. And that last little bit of math is important because it's not just a fun thing to do with threes. It's actually important for this thing right here called a magic circle. Now, magic circles basically are counting the number of intersections. Well, once you've figured out how many intersections that you have, like let's say you start off with 2 circles, there's only 2 intersections of those circles, and we have to number those intersections. There's first and the second intersection. Now, if you pick either circle and you go and you just follow it around, first you come to number 1 there, and then you go down to 2, and you add those 2 together, and with this one you're going to get 3 with both circles. So all I've done here is I've gone and done 3 and then 4 circles, and then added or enumerated them. All I've done is like labeled the intersections 1 to 12. This is the only way to label the intersections 1 to 12 so that every time you follow a circle around and you get to an intersection and you add those numbers up, you'll get 39 for each circle. So n equals 3 on this one because you need 2 circles to make an intersection. Then that's at n equals 1. 3 circles is n equals 2, and then 4 circles is n equals 3. So that little rule at the bottom tells me what the magic number is, the sum that I'm going to get every time that I sum up all the intersections. So over here I'm going to take this circle, and I get 10 plus 8 plus 7 plus 3 plus 5 plus 6 is 39. Or if I take this bottom circle, it's 11, 4, 7, 2, 9, and 6. Also equals 39. All 4 circles intersections add up to 39. Magic circle. 39 is also in multiple sequences on the online encyclopedia of integer sequences. This is a real website. It's serious stuff. And there's one I found called Aronson's sequence. And this is its definition right here. T is the first, 4th, 11th, 16th, 24th, 29th, etc. letter of this sequence. So you just start finding T's, and you count where they are in the sequence. There's the 1st and the 4th, and then here's the next one, the 11th, and then 16th is the T in 4th, and then the 24th letter is the T in 11th. We go on, and that 16th one, the second T is number 39. So this sequence is kind of interesting. There's its name and where you can find it on the online encyclopedia of integer sequences. The first numbers in the list are 1, 4, 11, 16, 24, 29, 33, 35, 39. So this one will go on forever because you're constantly defining the sequence as you're going along and counting the T's. I think that one's pretty cool. Our next entry is a thing called a snark. Snark's a mathematical object. It is a connected, bridgeless cubic graph with edge chromatic number of 4. I'm really not sure exactly what that means. I think I found some last year for 38. And I want to show you one. Actually, there's two. They're called the Selmans-Swart snarks. And these are the only two that have ever been found that have 26 vertices. That would be the points where the lines connect, and 39 edges. So there's your 39 edges. I'm thinking the one there on the right is pretty fantastic. Selmans-Swart snarks. The next bit of handy-dandy mathematics comes from the realm of partitions, which Euler liked to work on, and another Indian mathematician, Ramanujan, liked to work on. I think it's pretty cool stuff. Actually has applications besides just being interesting. Partitioning is where you can take a number and just dice it up into pieces. We'll partition them. So we could take the number 39 and we can partition it into 25, 8, and 6, and that added up together is just 39. Or we can dice it up into 24, 10, and 5. And here's another partitioning of 39, 20, 15, and 4. The interesting things about these particular partitionings of 39 is that if you multiply them together, 25 times 8 times 6 equals 24 times 10 times 5 equals 20 times 15 times 4. All of them equal 1200, which is pretty rare for that to be the case. So that's the case with the 3 different partitionings of 39. 2 more mathematical bits and we'll move on to a new category. First one is called the Johnson solid, and its designation is J39. Okay, it's also called, there's the official name here, an elongated pentagonal gyrobicupola. It's a 30-sided object, so that's not too good. But the J39 designation for this Johnson solid makes it interesting. Here's the one of the nets for that particular mathematical object, and this is what it looks like when you put it all together. So I'll leave this on your desk when you get back from vacation. The last one is that the digits of pi. And I'm not going to list all the digits of pi. I'm probably not even going to write them on here. But if you list out the first 39 digits of pi, mathematician James Grime says that all you need are 39 digits of pi to measure the circumference of the observable universe down to the precision of 1 hydrogen atom. So if you hit 38, it's not good enough. But 39, you can get down to 1 hydrogen atom. That's pretty cool. All right, I thought better of myself and decided I would actually write that down. Don't have them memorized. I'm just telling you that. There's the first 39, and those would be the ones what you need. On to science. If you look up number 39 on the periodic table, you'll find yttrium, letter Y. There's a kind of a weird picture of that stuff. It has some interesting properties, though really not some of the properties that have been assigned to it over time. Here's some pictures of yttrium. Whoops, wrong page. So, got here that some New Age practitioners feel that it aids in communication between the spiritual and the practical realm, especially when incorporated into fluoride crystals. That's a bunch of bunk. But it does do some cool things. It turns into a superconductor when cooled with liquid nitrogen, and superconductors are just plain freaky. So if you try to set a magnet on top of a cooled disk of this stuff, you can't do it because the magnet will stop about 1/4 of an inch above the disc. It just sits there. All right, and then another slightly magical application is yttrium aluminum garnet crystals, the central component of a powerful class of pulsed lasers. Device is able to create beams of light so perfectly co-limited that you can bounce them off the moon and see the reflection. They put these corner reflectors on the moon. Maybe you've heard about these. And these are the types of lasers that they can shine at these corner reflectors that the astronauts left on the moon. And they can measure the distance to the moon using that. So that's pretty cool. It's also, let's say, used for extending the life of your spark plug. On to the life of religion. If you're into halakha from Jewish stuff, well, 39 is the number of categories of activities that are prohibited on Shabbat. It is the number of mentions of work or labor in the Torah. There are, of course, 39 books in the Old Testament in the Protestant canon. Unfortunately, for Anglicans, they only have 39 articles, even though they probably should have 42. What else? I think that's all that we've got for religion. Oh, except for it's the number of lashes that Paul received 5 times, according to 2 Corinthians 11, from the Jews. So the number of lashes that were allowed by the Sanhedrin to give to somebody so that he wasn't humiliated. Like getting flogged 5 times wasn't humiliating enough. If we go to history, 39 is the number of signers to the U.S. Constitution at the Philadelphia Convention. There were 55 guys, but only 39 signed it. It is the duration in nanoseconds of the nuclear reaction in the largest nuclear explosion ever performed. The Russians dropped a 50 megaton bomb on some island up by the North Pole. It was called the Tsar bomb. There's still a scar. You can type it into Google Earth and go check it out. And it's the number of Scud missiles that Iraq fired at Israel during the Gulf War in 1991. It was 39 of them. Now, if you're miscellaneous here, if you're calling up Italy, the international code is 39. I-39 is the designation for a U.S. interstate highway that goes from Normal, Illinois to Wausau, Wisconsin. I-39 happens to be the 39th shortest of the primary 2 digits interstates. That's interesting. If you are doing some Japanese internet chat, if you type in the number 39, that is shorthand for saying thank you, or sanku in Japanese. Maybe you've been to Pier 39 and bought some socks in San Francisco. And just so you know, a typical bowling lane normally consists of 39 wooden boards. Ain't that fascinating? Lastly, popular culture time. If you've ever seen the CBS reality show Survivor, which I have not, apparently contestants compete for 39 days. Yes, there was a book series at Barnes & Noble a couple summers ago called The 39 Clues that was done by a bunch of different children's writers, including Rick Riordan. Revolved around 39 clues hidden around the world. It's very, very popular. And then probably the most disturbing thing I found were 3 songs, in fact, by 3 different, I don't know, I guess you'd call them groups. Yeah, let's call them groups. There's more than one person in each of these. Yeah, how about the song called 39 by The Cure? Maybe you're familiar with this. I don't know how, if you're, oh, you're old enough for that. Lots of hair, very depressing. Sister loves that stuff. The Cure on their album called Blood Flowers, their lead singer's name is Robert Smith, and he wrote the song 39 on his 39th birthday, which he chose not to celebrate. Instead, he closed himself in a room and he wrote this. And if you ever feel as depressed as that guy, especially about being 39, you need a shot of espresso, okay? You go and smile at yourself in in the mirror or go kiss your wife.